Three, two, one. What is going on, niche gaming enthusiasts? Michael Jordan here. This is the Niche Gamer Cast. This is episode 6. I'm sitting here with Big Papa Brandon,
What's up, guys?
and he is a little too close to the mic. But
Oh, sorry.
you did a right into the
I
thing.
was like, hey, what's up, guys?
So the audience is now deaf. And obviously, I'm Michael Jordan. I'm your media and marketing manager for the website. And yeah, this has been a while. And we've actually been busting our ass. And there's some business side stuff that I need to kind of go over with everybody beforehand. And then kind of let Brandon talk about this stuff. And we're let's just say to preface this is we really got fucked with a situation that happened. So a little bit of a backstory because you guys kind of really deserve like a little bit more of a breakdown. I know that there was speculation and things, and we tried to talk about it before, but realistically, this is where we're gonna kind of go into it a little bit deeper. So I came on more officially about 6 months ago now, right? A bit 6 or 7 months ago.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that is associated with the work that I've been doing on the site is kind of experimental, and I'm trying all these different things to see what works. And there's a big reason for that we really haven't gone over, and that is because Niche Gamer for quite some time has been operating on basically zero ad revenue. And that started because, well, to give you an idea, Google, Bing, and Yahoo are the triad of big business advertising when it comes to the online space. Almost 90% of that fucking money that's out there is coming through them. And if you lose them, you are boned. Luckily, Niche Gamer isn't boned because of the support of the fans, but we'll get into that in a little bit as well. So, when this happened, there were issues with the forums, and there was like two big booby anime posts that I guess some people outside of Niche Gamer just wanted to attack Niche Gamer, and so they attacked the worst way possible, right? They attacked the ads, and they were like, "Oh, look, there's like a anime sexy women." There were no nipples and stuff shown. Brandon went to go and try to fix this. This was kind of before I came on board, but there was nobody on team that could really explain to Brandon, like, because I mean, getting into that's my territory, right? Is like my work is really like working with the not only the PR people but the ad companies and stuff like that. That's kind of what I've been doing for a long time now, and that's why I came on board for Niche Gamer. And so sadly, what ended up happening is everything seemed to be okay, but it really wasn't. And what happened is it was a combination of a very old developer throwing in ad code onto the forums, which let Google know that, hey, this is also an area of the site that is picking up ad revenue, or was. And then they started investigating from this one instance, which was these kind of, gratuitous anime booby posts, whatever. They saw that, then they went over to the forums and they flipped their shit. When they flipped their shit big, and it stripped ads. And they also have connections to Yahoo and Bing, and that stripped the ads from those too. And
Yeah.
as time has gone on, been getting even more and more of a bigger picture of just how bad the forums really hurt the website. And it sucks because it was supposed to be a big thing Brandon wanted to have, right? It's kind of space for everybody to talk and stuff. Obviously, the comment sections in the post have kind of been that more so because they're on the front end and they're topic to topic. But like, it was supposed to be kind of a place for people to go, and it became the Wild West and abused, and the advertisers pulled out specifically because of that. When I officially came in, I was like, okay, we need to do a couple things to try to rectify this before it's too late. Little to my knowledge, it was way too late. Like, there was just stuff going on that was just like, oh my god, like it put me in a panic. Like, I don't even know how to deal with these people at this point, and it's like, holy, it was a holy shit thing for me, and I'm just trying to scramble to help Brandon fixed the advertising stuff, and Brandon didn't want to come down hard on those people, but obviously, Brandon, you saw what was going on, and you were kind of like, holy fuck. So that's kind of the big backstory, right? So we've been operating on basically no ad revenue for quite some time, and so a couple of ways where we try to rectify it is we were trying different ad companies, ad networks, and they really just don't work very well. And then yeah, and so we've been trying CPM Star, and a lot of people I know have disliked severely the CPM Star ads, but like they're the only ones, and they're literally, to give you guys an idea, they're giving you like 3% of what Google would be giving us. 3%. And that's nothing. That doesn't even cover 3%. Doesn't even cover a quarter of the website costs, because there's so much traffic going to the website. There's so much data on the website that people look at back and forth. Just a massive amount of usage, and it's like the ads just. And I as much as quote unquote CPM Star has been there to help, I have my own reservations going, why the fuck are they being so terrible? They've almost reverted to a whole thing where it's like you have to click on the ads to even make any money for the website. It's almost as if we should just not have ads on the site at all, because it's so bad. Like, I can't even stress that enough. It is depressingly bad. So that's a bit of backstory on the situation that led us up to this next part, which actually gave us a lot of freedom until some certain things changed. And that was, we were getting outside funding from certain companies to advertise their games, or a store like Play Asia, who were brilliant with us. They still even do like things to help us do reviews. They're really, really great about that stuff. But they were also doing things where they were doing these big paid promotion things for us, and it was working out great for both of us. And then they had an internal company, like they changed a lot of stuff internally, and they can't provide that anymore because they're just not pursuing that avenue anymore. And that stopped. But we came in, started playing in with different companies and trying to test those waters. And we had several people kind of come in. And this was basically like a month ago, and we're prepping basically for E3. We're like, okay, well, we need to get somebody solidified for E3. And we had a company that was looking like, boom, yes, this is going to be great. They got a brand new game that's coming out. I worked on the assets for a fucking long time, getting the video stuff ready. We had all this stuff that it was just weeks of getting this stuff, checking with them, getting back, getting time, so moving stuff, like literally even breaking our own structure that we were doing before just to accommodate these guys for E3, right? Well, 3 days before this stuff is supposed to go off, they pull out. Just bye. We're big, we're bad. We could just do whatever the fuck we want. Now, we're not going to actually talk about them because this is kind of a thing we agreed on. We're not going to give them the drama advertising. Fuck those assholes, because that's probably what they want too. Who fucking knows? These fucking cunts. But I'm sitting here. I get the. I was actually on. I decided to take the weekend off. And I get this fucking thing on the weekend. Brandon is also. We kind of have had kind of a little bit of rough weeks planning for this. He took time off, and he's still up in the area, but it is literally 2 a.m. his time, and it's 12 a. Or it's actually no, it's almost 3 a.m. over at his time, and it's almost going to be 12 for me. And we were trying to do a podcast, and it was like, fuck, dude, like we put ourselves out so much getting that shit done, getting E3 stuff done, and getting some other things done on the backside, that it was like every week we just had to keep pushing off doing episode 6 after we did the live episode, and it was unbelievably terrible. So with that said, all the money that we literally, because you got to understand that Brandon and myself already spent money because we're like, oh, we have this, we're gonna be covered, and so it really basically fucked both of us to a severe degree, and we were in a very big negative. So, Brandon, I'll let you take it away if you want to. We're still even spitballing. We're trying to figure it out,
Yeah.
but
I
I
mean,
felt like it was important to explain the business sort of side of what's been going on. Because the Patreon is like the only thing that has not been touched. That's like server operational cost, all that stuff that Brandon uses. But now we're at a very weird crossroads. If you want to take it away now.
are we going to talk numbers like specifically the deal that that just fell through, and then what we're hoping to
Let's just say that we're about out of grant. We're just like boom, gone. Like we're out of grant. Me and Brandon have put our own money into filling, the access for E3.
yeah.
I mean, Brandon's
So
going to be staying at my apartment for E3. We had
to save costs because
to save
it's that
costs.
dire. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean,
do we want to go into production too? Talk about those numbers. Kind of. Yeah, go ahead. State kind of some of the stuff that's going on.
so I want to go back to a very specific example of why we lost the advertising, and I've mentioned it before, but it needs repeating. There was an article that I wrote with Senator. It was for Senator Kagura. I'm pretty sure it was Senator Kagura Estival versus, and I used the image of 4 of the main girls, where they're all covering their giant flopping tits. They're just barely covering their nipples. That's it, and they have their legs crossed or whatever, so they're naked, but you can't actually see anything. But still, they're naked. They're just barely covering their nipples. That was one of the articles that was flagged. And the actual specific wording from Google, and it's the reason why I remember it because it was so ridiculous, was strategically covered areolas. I swear to you, that was the reason.
And one of the things we need to point out is places like Kotaku still have advertising through AdSense, and they get away with it. And it's like this was like we were flagged. Well, this was before I got on board on the front end, but it was like we are being flagged in math, and I don't know why. It was just something that happened.
My goal was to always give the fans just complete freedom, right? Like that's what I wanted, and I did that, and we lost our advertising for it. I mean, we had articles where we wrote about games that had very progressive, social justice-y themes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd have the right wingers come in and shit all over it. Then you'd have the left wingers come in and fight them over it and stuff like that. And I would just let them have at it. We wouldn't step in to do or say anything, right? They would just it was a bloodbath. Like there was this one game
still pretty much that's kind of the MO still that we try to do. But the images and stuff, like we've had to cut down. Like creative freedom is taking a fucking huge nosedive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just making the point that we've always strived for that, and it just really really bums me out when we have to worry about, well, not anymore. We've lost all the advertising, but
we're still trying to get it back though. I mean, that's the thing is we're trying to prove that we're good boy. Who's a good boy? We're a good boy. Like and it really sucks because I think one of the other things that we wanted to try to do is and we've been trying to do is push the YouTube to try to do some different things, and we've actually had some people donate to the Patreon because of it, and thank you for those guys who come in, and that's I think we also want to pursue some more edgy stuff on YouTube, because you can like pursue edgy stuff and just have that one video demonetized and then still have your other videos monetized. And so Oh man, people try to, and another thing, we do have like a group of little hawks who float around shit that pops up, who tries to get our stuff demonetized. Like like the Legend of Zelda fans, they were assholes when I gave Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild a 7, but they were pretty respectful on not like flagging video for dumb reasons, right? They just told me that I was a fucking idiot, and I'm like, all right, and I'll battle them on it or whatever. But like the videos that were the latest PSA videos, which yes, there's another PSA coming in, and it's not on censorship, but it has to do with the Far Cry 5. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. But there was like, it was specifically about the industry and kind of how things work, and I've have a lot of experience in it, so I was able to kind of candidly talk about those things, and I think it should be candidly talked about a little bit more from a people don't understand this. It's like how Hollywood has it, where there's like a secret underground. I'm very much like a Republican, so I don't make no apologies or whatever. But there is that kind of secret underground in the game industry that there is in the video industry, so I thought I could talk about it a little bit candidly for a minute. And those got flagged. And it was like, what? I saw it pop up, and I'm like, no. Go look at the fucking video. And as soon as they watched the video, they got, obviously, the monetization came back and all that stuff. But so those people still are floating around, waiting to do shit. But we're trying to be on our best behavior with the ads. Let's talk about how this actually affects E3 coverage, though.
Yeah, so now that we're really, I mean, it's been kind of par of the course, with Niche Gamer traditionally. We've always operated like on a shoestring budget. We've always been, like just operating with our entire budget. Like we're not lining the coffers of the Niche Gamer Corporation or anything. Like there's, it's been very, very tight all the time. So now that we had this deal fall through, we're kind of fucked. I mean, Michael and I have both put out money already. Michael, especially for equipment, for say business cards or whatever. Like there's been things that just keep adding up. And we were counting on this advertising deal to come through, right? So, I mean, right now, when it comes
I've almost. But here's the thing that people should know: like, I've eaten almost all those costs myself, so I don't feel like I need to recoup that so much. I made a conscious decision, that I want to help provide the site with the quality content, so it's not really that's like, I'm still going to try my hardest. I still got the equipment. Maybe the next couple months are going to be rough, but I can be okay. But what can't be okay is our direct production for E3, which we're going to unfortunately have to try to reach out, or else stuff is going to be really slow. We kind of, that's the thing that kind of makes us sad, is that we want to make this stuff, as much and as quickly as possible. We're actually going to be doing a lot. We're going to be doing a lot of video. We got a lot of back-to-back appointments. We can't even talk about games, stuff that nobody has even talked about. We have quite a few games that you guys, like, we have the list for, and it's like, holy shit, that nobody's even talked about yet. Or, well, they can't talk about it because they haven't announced it yet. But we're going to be there. We got the video cameras. We're going to be doing actual back and forth impression talk and stuff like that. So we're going to be trying to do it up as best as we can. Oh God, here's the big thing though. So the video production with the sponsor and stuff all has to change. That's more time that I'm going to have to spend just creating those new graphics and those new video things and stuff like that. So
I mean, the nice thing is, I think we're going to be more prepared. We're going to have a lot more just amazing opportunities, purely because Michael is working with us. I mean, to put it into perspective, I'm not going to mention specifics right now, but up until I brought Michael on, it was literally me running the show, and I have no idea about the gaming industry. Like, I started the website 3 years ago as a blog, just as a passionate gamer, and that was it. So I literally started building these relationships with PR people, developers, etc., just emailing them, meet them at these trade shows, exchanging cards. That was it, right? Michael's been doing it for a lot longer, 10 plus years, right? Like, it's insane. So it's like, there's so much clout and connections there that I just could only even hope to get in, like, another 10 years. So I mean, obviously it's not just that. Michael brings much more to the table, so as you guys can see. And
but
so
I think we both kind of have a very, I think it's more, for me at least too, I see the passion that people don't know, kind of like the background with me too. Like, for a long time I was running Ship2 Block 20, and I had a similar situation kind of before with, like, there was some staff drama that happened in Niche Gamer that was very similar to mine, but mine actually crippled the site that we were doing, and it made me lose a lot of heart. And Brandon kind of brought back that heart for me, and that's why I'm super eager to to work with Brandon and try to do it up big, try to give him all my resources so he can do these things. I think that's been a very common thread between the two of us for a long time now.
And that's I think we were planning on me talking about this just as briefly as I can with my personal stuff too. I mean, I think I've mentioned it briefly before, like on an older podcast, but I am a single father now. I'm gone through a divorce, resolving it, whatever you want to call it at this point. And it's crippling emotionally and financially. So, so between my day job, which I work every weekday, 9 to 5, sometimes later, as I had to with finals, which was fucking exhausting.
And you did that VR thing too. Oh,
yeah.
Oy vey.
This past Thursday, we had our big IT staff convention. Actually, shit, whatever. If anybody's...
let's just say that Brandon had to sit through a lot of VR tech bullshit. And I think that's also because I noticed people were wondering, like, oh, where are the posts this day? And it was like, because he's stuck. He couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I literally... so despite the fact that I work at a... I'm seriously not trying to trump up, trying to, pat myself on the back, but I work at a very prestigious university, and we had our big IT staff convention for literally all the IT staff at the entire school, so hundreds and hundreds of IT people. And even though we all work in IT, you'd be surprised how few of them have tried VR,
I'm not surprised at all, because I've done stuff with, like, big companies, and they can't even get their fucking phones to work. And I'm like, you're in the IT department? You can't get this fucking VPN to work with your phone? Kind of essential.
Yeah, I mean, and so, right, so I was supposed to be, like, we had a keynote speech. The keynote was VR. It was very exciting. It was very cool. And we had 2 booths with the VR. I had to help set it all, test it. And I was under the impression that I was going to man the booth for like a portion of the day. I was there all day, like pretty much all day except for like a lunch, and yeah. And I'm incredibly passionate about gaming, tech, and especially virtual reality. I love it. It's especially if you have really cool stuff to demo, and you get to see people being excited, trying it. And it's awesome, but it's exhausting. So after that, I got back to my place and passed out.
Yeah, so it's been pretty rough month with a lot of the stuff prep, but like I also feel like maybe I should kind of give some people some idea of some of the stuff we're going to be doing. Some of the companies I'm not going to, because I can't talk about who is showing projects that aren't announced. Oh, God, I didn't even realize how many are on here. I'll just say we're gonna be checking out like see what's coming out of. We're really doing a gambit of like, let's see what everybody's doing, because stuff falls through the cracks. So we're gonna check out NCSoft. We're gonna be spending a fuck ton of time at Square Enix. So we have some really good appointments set up for that.
Bamco.
We have, oh man, Bandai Namco. These motherfuckers, they're gonna eat up.
They're riding our dick,
dude. We have a huge chunk of time where they're like, we need you there the whole time. So it's kind of nice to feel wanted, We have THQ Nordic, right?
They're good peoples.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff from them. Surprisingly, it's a lot of really good looking stuff that I wasn't even ready for. We have a company called Rebellion, which has some really interesting stuff that I don't know how much I could talk about it, but it harkens back to old comic books that I'm really interested in, like these grindhouse comics, and I think needs to be shown more. And I think everybody at Niche Gamer is going to get a real kick out of it, because it's no hold bar 1950s kind of almost propaganda sort of comic books, and it's really gritty and interesting. And then we got a lot of Sega. I just noticed on our list, a lot of really cool different things from Sega Japan and Sega America. So that's cool. Actually, I can't even name this company, which is a very large company, because of what I asked to deal with, because they haven't told anybody that they're even going to be there. Can I name Paradox? Paradox is okay to list. We got Epic. Ooh, got some interesting stuff from Epic coming on. We got a lot of interesting stuff coming from Deep Silver. A lot of interesting stuff from Deep Silver. More Square Enix stuff. Nintendo. Yes, we're going to have some good showing force over at Nintendo. We have Frostpunk, which is a new game that some people, it's an indie game that looks really fucking cool. Brandon turned me onto it, and it looks really interesting.
The Bamco's publishing that, right? I think, or I'm trying to remember who's publishing that.
I don't think so. When I look through
Bamco, they're publishing a fuckload of games. I mean, both Japanese and Western. It's surprising. Like,
well, this is in the private hall. This isn't going to be accessible by anybody on the show floor. A lot of our appointments are like not accessible on the show floor, so it's going to be easy for us to maneuver around like the general public.
That's a big thing I want to point out too, is that, and we've talked about it numerous times at length about how ridiculous E3 has gotten and how ridiculous that this year is going to be, because
now it's official that they're letting people in.
Yes.
Before they were slowly increasing that number, and it really sucked. But now they're officially letting they're opening the floodgate.
And to put it into perspective, right? Like, for obviously to you guys, the listeners, our fans, like I love you guys, you're incredible. But when you're at a trade show and you're trying to just play a game for a preview to give people who aren't there an idea, you need to play for a good 10, 20 minutes at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
if that,
yeah,
you'll wait. Oh God, yeah.
So then, if you don't have a booking and you just show up, you're probably gonna have to wait at least an hour to play.
Well, first of all, right? Let's acknowledge things. If you're doing any of the big three stuff, like if we're gonna be going over and seeing Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo, if you don't have an appointment, you're fucked. People wait in line the whole entire show just to get in. It's ridiculous, and it's like, I mean, last year. Let's see. I've been doing quite a. I've been at E3 for forever, and Tokyo Game Show, and doing all these things. Last year, Nintendo, I walked up and I played all the games, the demos, right, that they had for General. So everybody was gonna give me shit because it was Breath of the Wild, right? And they give Breath of the Wild a 7. Hey man, my criticisms were the same back then as they were now. I was like, I'm feeling it, but I saw people there waiting. Like the show, the longest it's open is about 8 hours.
Yeah.
I saw people who got there, right? Who were like, they just made it to like the back of the line. By the end of the show, they finally got to the front of the line. Can you imagine being in a line for 8 hours like that? Like, and we're actually having an appointment. Like, people don't even understand how hard it is to get appointments with Nintendo, how hard it is to get appointments with Sony and Microsoft. Like, you have a vetting process. They have to check your site numbers, the quality of the work you do, if you ever reviewed any games on the systems before. Like, there's a huge list. Microsoft's a bit more forgiving, but Sony and Nintendo are not.
Yeah. And I mean,
yeah.
was really interesting too. Years ago, if they had stuff on the show floor, they would still have a line for press and a line for the Joe Schmoes. So.
Oh Jesus! Last year they just removed all of it. It was one line for everybody, and I saw that, and I said, "This is the death of E3," because because normally people like what you try to do is you try to, if you don't have an appointment, like at the time you try to slip in. I didn't leave that to chance. I booked us literally back to back. We have like five minutes to run, and I had to book all our appointments around the same area so that each day we're kind of in a sector.
I think honestly, and this is just pure speculation, but I think we're GDC is going to be the biggest main American game show moving forward, and I haven't gone since 2015. I missed last year's and this year's, but
for press, right? It's gonna be, you think that? Well, I think we both kind of have our hesitation though with that, because that's a really terrible precedent to set. GDC is a very ultra liberal kind of, we don't want those type, why does your game have a gun sort of thing.
Honestly, that's not the vibe I got though.
Last time I was there, that's the exact vibe I got. I was like, dude, fucking what?
I mean, dude, I was there. There was these fucking Scottish dudes showing off a pro wrestling game where you just beat the like.
But pro wrestling is different. Is like, haha, look, it's a game about. I hear these arguments from these people. That's the thing is, while I've been working in this industry, I'm also very jaded about the other people in this industry.
I hear you. And I mean, dude, and they had special areas where those fucking retards would sit on beanbag chairs with their brightly colored hair, and they would play these just stupid fucking looking games, or the indie, because they would have.
But that's the thing. Like, I love stupid fucking crazy games, but those people ruin it for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't just enjoy a stupid fucking game anymore. These people try to make it like I remember I was playing at an event or something. It was like playing Nobi Nobi Boy, and I'm like, I love this fucking stupid insane thing, and I was hearing people getting super philosophical about it. I'm like, you can eat your own butt. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm sure there are some blue-haired pixies that are saying the same thing about genital jousting, which to me is like, hey, look, you're disembodied.
By the way, we are going to Devolver for quite some time. We love those guys.
Awesome. Yeah.
Do you want a game that's hyper violent right next to a game that's disembodied cocks and butts? Go to Devolver.
Well,
they treat everybody so good. See, that's the other thing. People don't even know this. I've actually talked to people who are outside of the industry, and they didn't even know this. But Devolver makes it so, like, they have their press area is literally like a get some food, have some beer, and relax for a couple minutes before you go back into the fray. And it's never not entertaining, because they pull out their best, like, the games that are being done for them, and you can just walk up and play them. And you have to have a press pass to get in there, though. So it's kind of like a little oasis away from it. So we love you, Devolver. Keep doing the things you do.
Yeah, I think that whole thing started when they they were planning on booking like the parking lot right outside the convention hall, and then something happened, and they basically told them to go fuck themselves. And then they're like, all right, well, we can't do that, and we can't, have it be like right there visible. I think that was the main thing. It couldn't be like visible from the convention hall. They're like, all right, we'll book this parking lot like right over here, and we'll get a giant fucking balloon that
Yeah.
says Devolver Digital on it. And I'm like, really?
Like a giant fucking middle finger, and it's been there ever since. And it's a staple. They're so fucking
Yeah,
badass about it.
it's
Yeah.
pretty.
I think like for the last several years, I think I've had the most fun over there. Just the games that were there. I mean,
Yeah,
like
they're
I remember one of my best times at E3 was just getting drunk with the guys who did was it called Broforce?
oh nice.
And I was just playing the game with them and just going, "This is fucking ridiculous." You know?
Well, their main PR person, I won't say who, but she's a pretty fucking amazing person. And it's funny because I think like her politics are kind of centrist, leaning left a little bit, but she follows me on Twitter still, despite all the stuff I say. And every time I see her, we hug, and I'm like, hey, and she's like, hey, and she's super cool, So.
I think I met her when I did some stuff with Destructoid way back when. Way back when. That was one of the not so great E3s that I was at, but not because of Destructoid. Their team was cool, but it was just some shit happened that is infamous for LA area to me that really sucked. Um. We also have Grinding Gear, with a game that I had to put down or it was going to suck away my life. Path of Exile
Oh yeah.
Act 5. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
going to play it because we're doing it at the end of E3. And I'm going to be so retarded back into Path of Exile again.
Dude, there are so many games that are just incredible, and same thing with you. I know, like we just don't have time. Like people, like dude, you played Persona 5 yet? I'm like, dude, I haven't even started yet. Like I just don't have any time.
People
Like
are
I
still
own it.
asking me to do another. They want me to do another playthrough now on stream, New Game Plus for Persona 5.
It's like I just don't have
I'm like,
time.
fuck, dude.
You know,
Do you know how many hours that I put? I mean, I put in live on the live stream. I put in 189 hours
it's fucking
for
retarded.
Niche Gamer. I haven't posted all those videos because I want to go back and like after E3, I kind of want to like shorten them all up, like cut them all up to make them more impactful, I guess. But man, dude, that was crazy.
I mean, there was a game that I played at PAX. Was it PAX East? Christ, I can't remember. Might have been PAX West. And they had the very unfortunate luck of having a game named Stonehearth, and they announced it, developed it way before Hearthstone was ever announced, and it's still like in early access, and I saw it on the show floor, and I was like, oh my god, this is like a city builder sandbox game, and and then the developer, one of the main developers, I think he might have been the team lead, saw my badge, and he was like, dude, I've been trying to get you to write about my game. And I'm like, what? he's like, yeah, like I've sent you guys emails and stuff. And I'm like, wait, like me, like Brandon from Each Gamer. And he's like, I know your website. Like, I'm like, dude, I would have written about this game if I got an email. Like, this game looks incredible.
What a lot of them are is like the Twitter. We got a lot of these. It's really fucking annoying. Don't DM us on Twitter for your fucking game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, same thing with the Facebook. Like, I'll get, I see the Facebook messages, and they're like, hey, please check out my visual novel. I'm like, oh my god, dude. Like,
Send us an email. I mean, we'll check it out if you give us like an email, like pitch it to us. We're open about that. But like, if you're gonna sit there and like, I even have had some people send us stuff through the because I do the media marketing and the advertising. I've had some people send it to us via that way, And I'm like, it's not really something we cover. Like, a lot of them have been pretty outlandish, but I'll give you a respectful reply. I replied to almost every single fucking email that gets sent to me. So, unless
Yeah.
it's from a dickhead advertiser who's like, hey, guys, can we abuse your fans for money? I'm like, no. You fucking cunt.
I mean,
I show
the-
Brand. I that's like a weekend thing. I show Brandon. I'm like, dude, look at these fucking assholes. Yeah.
Yeah, I get so many emails, and same thing with Michael, and it's like there's a ton of them that they'll say, oh hey, I'm from blah blah network and I'm looking to run blah blah ads on your website, and I look at them, and I look at their website, and I'm like, looks kind of shit, and I just don't respond, and they'll email me like 3, 4, 5 times, and they'll reply to the same thread.
Yeah,
You know,
I usually I'll just say not interested. I'll kill
and
it that way.
developers will do the same thing too sometimes. Like, and it gets ridiculous. Like,
Oh, pimp
I mean,
my Kickstarter. Pimp my Kickstarter.
yeah,
Jesus.
that's a biggie. You know, like
This
there
last
was-
2 weeks, I got 35 Kickstarter emails. I mean, like,
I mean-
and I was like, dude, at least 90% of these are scams.
yeah. I mean, there was a time when I was looking for more stuff to cover, and I would actually go and browse the games on Kickstarter. This was years ago, and I don't do that anymore.
We should
You know.
we should just take copies of iDubbbz Kickstarter crap and fucking put that up there.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like we could riff on games so easily, especially Kickstarters. You know, like it's mind-boggling. You know, and it's to me it's mind-boggling when you know, certain things aren't brought to people's attention, and other things are. And it's just weird to me.
Well,
Like
you
how
saw that
this-
one. There is one Kickstarter game I'm interested in, and it's like a 2D Dark Souls. I think I put it in chat. Did you
I
see
saw.
that? Yeah. That one, I was like, that's pretty fucking brutal.
I mean, it's like there's a Twitter account that's what's it called? It's called something like Dark Souls or whatever, and it's
Oh yeah.
and all it does, and it's actually pretty famous at this point, and it's pretty popular, and
It's
they
like
actually
Dark Souls with this.
yeah, and when Bandai Namco's new game Code Vein was announced, of course, I
Yeah.
wrote about it saying it's like Dark Souls, blah blah, and they screen capped my article with the headline, and
Well,
they
yours
put it with,
actually yours wasn't totally like yours was the least offensive title on that one, while
Yeah.
still describing it. Like all
It
the
was like-
other ones were pretty fucking ridiculous, and yours was just
What?
a very straightforward, descriptive. You know.
and dude, and some people will still get mad at me for my headlines, and I'm like, oh my god, like can I just like breathe, please, like
We're in the
Like,
age of outrage.
Yeah,
We talk about that too. We try to actually eliminate that as much as possible. That's actually one thing that people probably don't even know. Like, if Brandon's writing something, he'll shoot it over. He's like, "Do you guys think this is too sensational? Is there a way we could word this better just to be?" We actually go through that process because we know that you
Yeah.
guys don't like it. You know,
Yeah,
we
because
really
sometimes-
try. You know.
yeah, like sometimes like I come up with a headline that is exactly descriptive of the content, but I look at it and I'm like, well, it's pretty. It sounds ridiculous, but it's completely descriptive of the content. And I shoot it over to the guys, and they're like, sounds good." I'm like, really? Like, yeah. I'm like, all right. And I publish it. But then sometimes I have no doubts. I just publish it. People are like, actually, and I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, how is that confusing? You know, I'm like, if you read the article,
Well, actually, remember that
never
one
did.
time where the thing had like something 85 comments, and we went through and we were like, okay, maybe there is something here, because we'll do that every once in a while. We'll try to like double check ourselves, and it was like, well, maybe there's something here, and it was like, holy shit, none of the people who like there's maybe out of like those 85 comments, there's maybe 10 to 15 comments that are like officially negative, stupid stuff. Some of them were like, I don't think that you worded it right or whatever, and those are all valid, right? Those are we take in that stuff, but like other people were just saying shit, and it was like the answer was literally in the, like in a thing that was 3 paragraphs, it was in the second paragraph, and it was like, that's the one thing. I go full asshole. I was about to just copy and paste it under the guy's thing like 5 times. It was just the second paragraph, and it was like, no, don't do that stuff, because I am a firm believer of we're all equal, and if you say something stupid, I'm gonna shit on you as if I say something stupid, you shit on me, and that's a big thing in my philosophy for a lot of this stuff. So we're a little bit off topic with some of the stuff. Let's actually, I'm gonna just circle it around this to give people an idea. So what we're gonna do, I think we're gonna probably try to do a GoFundMe, right? Is that what we finally decided on? Yeah. So we would have tried to push it with the Patreon, but literally that's gone, and it's gonna kick over in 3 days. That's gonna be impossible. Obviously, if you do decide to support the Patreon, we love you. Like, we're going to actually, especially with next month, because of some unfortunate things in my life that happen, I'm going to have a whole hell of a lot free time for the next 6 months. So you're going to see a lot more news going up as well. I'm going to be trying to do that. That means we're also going to have a return of the fucking Daily Niche proper, edited news stories. That's going to get done, and it's going to get done faster. And so we're also going to be doing more the reviews and stuff. I'm going to be really grinding reviews and stuff. So it's going to be more me moving into a full-time capacity for at least the next month. It might be longer, who knows, depending on how things go. But it's just an effort to do that. But for E3 specifically, we have a slight production problem that's basically it's gonna be a little bit crippling. We need to kind of raise about $300 because me and Brandon now are living off of Cup of Noodle, and we've kind of paid all our bills essentially, but we are on the tippy toes of really getting fucked, and we're trying to prevent that. And if any of you guys can find it in your hearts, I know emotional pleas, they suck. We're sorry. We don't want to do it. Obviously, we were never planning to do it. We had a lot of, this is just a really fucked circumstance. But if you guys like the stuff that we do and you guys want to kind of help us out, we're going to try to raise about $300. Anything over that is going to go directly into E3 production. We're not going to be doing anything else with it. It's just going toward that. We promise you with that, and we got a lot of cool stuff lined up for you guys. We're going to have impressions, and we're going to have some other hands-on and some ideas about demos, and a lot of there might be stuff that we can't talk about till a later date, though, because of games that aren't announced and will not be announced till after E3. But we are going to be trying to really do the best we can for you guys to compete, because it's a very competitive market, and give you what you guys are looking for, that alternative view on the games and the industry that you come to Niche Gamer for. So if you guys find that in your heart, that's something that you want to do, we're going to kind of get that done and put it in the link in the podcast, and it's going to be linked in the post. And yeah, that's, there's not really much we could do about it.
I definitely want to mention that I really, really, really tried to avoid a GoFundMe this year as well. You guys helped us out last year, and again, from the bottom of my heart and the staff, can't thank you enough. We had a plan with that advertising deal, fell through. So we're scrambling, So anything helps.
We even actually tried to take out some personal loans for it as well, just to make sure that because this is something that we could probably eat up over time, but in the immediate, it's just such a fuck you to our faces, you know. I mean, we've been really pushing ourselves in the last couple months, and working with these companies and stuff like that, and this just one instance really fucked us. So, yeah, that's let's talk about arms.
You're right. Oh my god, I feel like we've been talking for like forever.
Yeah, we talked about a solid 50 minutes about basically that depressing garbage, but we also interjected some E3 stuff. I might do a E3 video of like kind of like that Italian, you come to New York, you're a jerk, get out of the way sort of thing, and give like a, you know what I mean? I was thinking about that, doing like kind of an E3 version of that to try to explain to people. It's like, we love you, but right now you're a jerk, get out of the way. Or this is more for your sake too, because we'll be able to give that experience and stuff with the hands-on. So please don't gawk at everything and whatnot. But okay, so the ARMS Global Test Punch went live. I've played it quite a few times now. Brandon, you got your hands on it at least for a full hour or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have a little bit of a debate, right? Brandon played it with the fucking controls, no motion controls.
The face buttons. The real way.
That's not the fucking real way. They never even show... They were like, yeah, you can, but they never even go over that. I played it for my first couple times, pure motion controls, and then I tried doing the controller. I hate the controller for a couple of reasons. But let's, before I go into, because there's a bunch of nuanced stuff that has to deal with the controllers, and you haven't tried that yet. So let's start off with a common ground thing. Let's talk about the playing it with the face buttons and controls. I'm going to let you take it away. Tell me why you think that's the way that you should play this game.
So, I actually did try the motion controls briefly, though. The problem was it's nearly impossible with my son. Like, it was pretty much impossible. Like, I did, like, 1 or 2 rounds, and they weren't.
You almost
like,
duked him in the face or something when he ran by?
Yeah. So, the
it's like that breakdancer gif where he's, like, doing a thing, the kid runs by, and he, like, kicks him into the crowd.
Oh, God. It's a classic, dude. Oh, my God. Dude, it's such a classic. But no, like, so, and I kind of tweeted about it and stuff, too. Like, you guys have no idea how difficult it is to play a game for the very first time and get the controls down and try to get good with your son actively trying to make you fail. And I'm not talking, like, walking in front of your vision. I'm talking he was climbing on top of me, trying to grab the Switch from my hands, like, fighting me. Throwing stuff at me, and I'm like yelling and stuff because it's all online, so you can't, I can't just pause it, and get him to do something, to play something else. No, it's like games kept connecting, and I'm like, well, fuck, I gotta keep going, dude. I got an hour, so I kept going, and but obviously the vast majority were I was playing on the face buttons in handheld mode. I wasn't playing docked. I wasn't playing tabletop.
I played it in all 3 ways.
Okay.
Like docked, motion, and standing. I've done it where it was motion controls, kind of sitting in my chair in front of my TV. That's how I streamed it. I've done it standing up, motion controls, not docked. Actually, like on my little stand, right? And it felt like an aerobic exercise thing because it was standing up, and I was actually like kind of strifing like with my feet and stuff. I used to do kickboxing and stuff too, and it actually felt supernatural to play this game, which was really fucking weird, and turn my fists and kind of like slightly strike left and right when I was playing the game. But yeah, go on with your.
Dude, I'm sorry. I just I just saw Chris Ray Gun tweet about I forget the university, but somebody was like, they said you're not black enough to speak here, and he tweeted an image of Kermit the Frog with his mouth wide open.
Oh, with the teeth? Oh, that's such a
With
weird
the
image.
teeth and the noose in the other image. Oh my god, it's hysterical.
You know
Anyway,
what? I love Chris, right? I love his content. But he bitches about LA when he lives in like the nice part of LA, like the northern part. He doesn't live where I live. I live in downtown LA on Skid Row. You know, I got a little bit of a view. It's nice. But it's up Skid Row, so I can see the junkie shooting up and then the guy that's going to go rob him. You know? That's my view. But it's just like, he's like, I hate this place. I'm like, dude, okay, you want to know what it is to hate this place? Well, come down here, motherfucker. Let me show you some shit. You know? But it's just funny when I see him do that stuff. But so you had the luxury of your child crawling all over you.
yeah, it was ridiculous.
Okay, so let me ask you this, right? One of the things that I had a major problem with the controls was the fact is you really can't control your punches when you are playing the game with the face buttons.
You can.
Not really. They curve in wild ways. Whatever you're pointing your thing, because you like stop and then whatever way you were walking, it immediately curves toward that way.
So it was weird, right? Like when I was playing, I found that if you threw the punch, and it was really weird at first. I will admit, like it was awkward. And I think I remember reading like an early preview that Nintendo did some private event recently, like a week or two ago, and the previews went up. But anyway,
Well, no, 'cause they shouldn't have gone up.
well, no, there was like a bunch of all the other big websites were talking about it. But anyway, I feel like one of them described it as like to the T when it came to the face buttons. Like you had to throw your punch, and then you had to actively manipulate you had to time it just right with the analog stick to curve it, because if you moved your stick too early, it would fuck up the it would fuck up the trajectory.
Well, what happens is like you throw your punch, and let's say if you're strafing to the left and you throw your punch, it's gonna go left immediately. If you're strafing right and you do that, it's gonna curve.
You can I was able to do it, and that's what I think was fucking people up. Like I was able to jump and strafe and then also throw my punch in the opposite direction.
That's different. That locks, because your jump locks you in a position you can't. The jumping mechanism is almost like you're locked up. So you're locked in a position, and then you can control your punch from there. That was actually the only way I could really throw accurate punches when I did that, because I moved around a lot throughout the game. I played all the different characters. I was a beast with fucking Master Mummy, dude. Like nobody was playing Master Mummy. I'm doing the fucking punch controls. And I'm sitting there and like in one of them that I didn't stream, I had something like by the end of it almost 100 fucking coins through motion control.
I think Master Mummy, people were playing it a lot in my bracket because they kept spamming his grab.
No, I wasn't doing the grab. There's a combo that I yeah, it does do a lot of damage. But he does a couple of things that I find particularly so gratifying. He does like a double jump. Like if you jump and do a dash, it also does a jump in like the direction that you're already going. Like the ramen chick, she does that jump kick thing that kind of propels you forward. That could fuck you up if your strategy. Like Master Mummy actually has the ability to kind of like do like this like jump. Somebody throws a punch at you, you could double jump again out of the way. Plus he blocks and heals himself. I was fucking people up with that. Like I would like go behind like an area or something. They're like trying to strafe around. I'd quickly pop that, gain a couple points of health, jump back, throw my big heavy punch, because you have to hit it like twice to get that heavy punch to go away. And that's the thing, is when you got the motion controls, right? You can punch and like it could curve to the right first, but then you twist your wrist and it'll curve back to the left. And I was able to actually snake around really quickly and smack the fucking, in that one test tube arena, right? Where they had those test tubes, the big green ones. I was able to snake around, smack the guy right in the fucking face, killed him. I was just like, yeah, and he didn't think, he was like, I could tell, he was like not expecting that shit at all. Because he walked right into it. He's like, oh, he's already going to miss. Fucking boom! End of match. And it was so close, too. And I was like, yep. When I first played it on the Global Test Punch, I was wrecking face. I was immediately wrecking. I fucking loved it. I love the combos that they got going on too. But see, that's the thing though. When you're with the controls, you can't snake like that. You are super vulnerable as soon as you throw a punch.
No, maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. But if I wasn't able to do that, that would have severely handicapped me. I mean, I was definitely doing that. I mean, maybe I think it was just the timing was really weird. And my biggest thing was, I felt like, I was definitely, I was able to respond quickly. But then that ninja character, that's fucking stupid. Like I really don't think.
I saw a lot of people saying they needed to nerf him. Every time I went against him, like with people who were like 60 to 80 coins, I kicked their ass into the fucking ground. I was doing Master Mummy or the fucking Ramen Girl, and I would just destroy him. Like, I don't know, maybe people aren't used to playing, because he's quick, and he does that kind of little maneuver stuff. But I sat there, like, I wait until he does that little puff away. So there's also a lot of strategy here, too, that people aren't used to utilizing. So he's very quick. So if you have a strong punch, right, you got to know when to utilize that. And so, like, Master Mummy, he has the fucking Phoenix that detaches and can hit, and has a little bit more control when you're moving your hand. Like, I've seen him, like, jump back and forth, and I'm like, just curve my wrist. Boom, hit him, then throw as soon as he's falling on the ground from his jump, do the fucking big punch, hits him right before he lands so he doesn't get that little stun period. Boom, massive fucking damage. Kept doing that. Tries to block, grab him. That's how you basically get through the blocks, is you do a grab. And if you, and that's the one thing though, Master Mummy, if you're not careful, you fuck up, you're dead. Because his slam will take you a third of your health.
It does a fucking stupid amount of damage. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So if you're not paying, and that's the thing, is like, I noticed, that's one thing I did notice a lot of. People were just flailing, throwing punches, left, right. I was like, dude, block. Throw my one punch, the bird or the Phoenix, curve it, smack him in the head, then throw the big one, because that combo does as much as his slam. And it was like, I remember I was playing one match where I did 2 of those and a grab, and I killed somebody. And that was all. I didn't throw a multitude of punches. I only threw those. And the guy was at least 60 coins up. And my parents are watching me play this, right? Because I went up to go see him. And they were like, and my dad just goes, I think you kicked his ass, son. I was like, I think I kicked his ass too, Dad. Because and I'm also standing. That was the thing. I was playing it while I had it propped up, and I was actually strafing back and forth. So it's, I don't know. Like, I still don't understand it. And then, like, Matt was complaining. He's like, well, you just point the controllers toward each other, and it's supposed to do the block. I'm like, no, cross your fucking arms. with your controllers. If you cross your arms with the controllers, it does the block thing immediately. So I'm like, I cross my arms, immediately does block.
That's one thing I think I really don't like about the face buttons. Blocking, you have to click the stick in by default.
Yeah,
It's fucking
I
stupid.
hate that. That's what screwed
Yeah.
me up, because also playing Master Mummy, you're doing blocking a lot. You're doing blocking a lot, and then as soon as they try to get you a grab, you go and you do your big, large punch. You know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different, and that's the thing, is like the I feel like professional players will be doing it with motion control, and the motion controls are fucking tight. It's VR on. I remember I kept telling you guys that in the chat. I'm like, arms is VR on with long punching instead of gun blasts, and nobody believed me. And I'm like, dude, don't play it with the play it as if you were holding the sticks and you know, like on a what is it called? Like, you know, if it was attached to a table, you'd have a lot better experience. It's like the key thing with the fucking Switch. There's more technology in those two little controllers than the fucking screen. You know?
It's true. Yeah. I mean, I really
you know
like
how
the game.
you know how we could settle it though. Oh wait. I don't think we're gonna be able to do that. Never mind. I was thinking E3.
It's not going to be out by then. I will say though that the 2-on-2 match. Well, actually, 2-on-2 felt okay. Like it was. You could manage it, but the four free for all was fucking retarded.
Well,
It was just,
that I didn't have a problem with. The three for all. I don't know how to. When you have three players just all kicking the shit out of each other, I hated that.
yeah, that one was pretty bad too.
I actually really, really liked the volleyball though.
The volleyball was really fun. Yeah.
A lot more fun than I expected.
Well, you know, what was really interesting, I think, was how you toggle, right? So, like, for people who haven't played it, who haven't like even looked at it or whatever, haven't seen gameplay, you auto lock on to the other characters. So, so you toggle between them.
Like VR on.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so it's like, so if it's literally like if it's like the three people free for all, it gets annoying. Like sometimes I accidentally toggle to the wrong person and stuff like that, and it started pissing me off.
Well, you don't do that if you're using the motion controls.
Yeah.
Because it's on your right thumb. It's
Well,
literally X on your right thumb, so you're not even hitting your thumbs are up higher, and if you want to actually toggle down, you have to actually like maneuver your thumb down as if you were doing like a gun safety switch off.
I mean, I was almost at 100 coins, and I had a toddler crawling all over me the entire time, so I think I did pretty good.
I think we really have to have a match where you do the controls and I do the motion controls. because we're pretty much at the same coinage.
I will say that between Splatoon 2, which I know I didn't play the original, I don't own a Wii U still. I own Bayonetta.
I know you're that type of faggot, but
I don't own
forgive
a Wii
you.
U. I went into both that and ARMS, with no real expectations, and I was pretty impressed. I came away really enjoying both, trying out both games. I'm excited.
Dude,
they're both.
And anybody who watched our niche gameplay when the Splatoon, the first one, came up, I wrecked face, and I was totally drunk. It's a hell of a lot easier to play the new Splatoon than it is the... I was trashed and I fucked everybody up. Unless my team really sucked. You know what it is? It's a bunch of new people who didn't have a Wii U playing it, who don't realize that you're supposed to coat the arena in paint. Like, kills are okay, but realistically, you need to cover the arena in paint. It is really annoying to have people not doing any of that. I was like, how do you think you're supposed to crawl up a wall? You can't crawl up a wall unless there's ink on the wall, and then you go into the ink up to the top. But that made me. I think I got in the stream. Wasn't I getting like first place every single time? I don't know. I gotta go watch it. It was pretty ridiculous. But and never play with intern Matt. He'll always ruin your fucking score. Son of a bitch. I was in top rank in Splatoon, and then he joined me through the system, and since it throws it like randomizes even the people who joined, because the systems were set up like ass, but it basically made it so it was like he would go on the other team and he single-handedly helped lower my rank by a fuck ton. I went from like top rank to like B rank. Oh, I was like, I'm gonna kill you. I had to stop playing with him. That's how bad it got. So, yeah. But I mean, the two big games that I said were going to be, at the beginning of the year, we really didn't do like a predictions video or anything like that. But the things where I said the two big games are going to be Splatoon and ARMS. Breath of the Wild is not going to be good to the set. Like, I kind of regret even giving a 7 to Breath of the Wild. I almost feel like I had so many complaints with it. It should have been a 6. Even when I watch people do Let's Plays and stuff now, it's like they're forcing it. All the people that I see like now who are watching the review, after the initial hype died off, I see that the numbers are increasing. Like, people are going, oh yeah, you're totally right. It is like a 7. They're like, yeah, these are all these problems. Like, once that initial hype wears off, because it's not only... The problem with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was that it had initial hype with the system and the game. Those are two really terrible things to have ultra hype over. And it became the purchase justification for the system. And it's like, oh, geez, But I think when ARMS and Splatoon comes out, that's going to be like, yeah. Even in the I played ARMS on the shittiest internet connection at my parents' house in the middle of nowhere, and it worked really well. Not as, I would never do it competitively. Like, I would do competitive here because I have like 200 megabytes a second, but I would never do it up there. I did it on 10 megabytes a second, and it still ran fucking amazing. That's a real testament, to what they got going on. And I think Nintendo really put in some work for the infrastructure. But I think the only way we're going to settle probably the dispute versus motion control versus, controller in the hand is if we actually play against each other. Because, yeah. I don't know. My arms are swole, though, dude. Like, seriously, because just playing all those, like, my arms are still, like, they're kind of tender. It's pretty fucking gnarly.
I could definitely see that, and I kind of want to try focusing on playing it that way, too, to be honest, because it does feel more fun. I think
dude, once you get it down, you'll be like, okay, I get it. Because, you're controlled like VR on. Yours left, right. You got to be able to kind of have, like, a movable chair, too. Or to be able to stand. Like, my chair pivots, so I can kind of move my body with it. I think that's probably a really big one. But, all right.
Like spacing out. It's getting late.
Yeah, I was looking at the clock. We talked about 25 minutes of ARMS, even though the image has been up this whole time on the thing. Want to thank all you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys understand. If you guys feel like you guys want to help us out, please check that link. Brandon's gonna set that up before this goes live, and if you like the work that we're doing on the Patreon, we are trying to figure out ways to really make that more accessible. And I might even have a thing where I kind of have like an open chat line while I'm just working, because I'm going to be working out of my apartment after probably the first. The first, I'm actually changing apartments too. But after that, I think probably maybe on the following Monday of next week, not next week, but the week after that, I'm going to be almost available all the time. So might try doing the chat, put that just up on my screen. If anybody pops in, say what up. If you need something, or if you want to talk about stuff, I'll be there as well while I'm posting news stories or getting the video ready or something. You know what I mean? Probably maybe also start streaming daily. I was thinking about doing that.
I don't want to get burnt out, though,
Yeah, but if I'm here all the time and I do news, I might as well stream a little bit after. Who knows? It's going to be a whole hell of a lot of No Man's Sky and just keep having a couple drinks.
I still got to get back into that game, I mean,
It's a lot better, though. Everybody's like, this game's shit. I know. But they did upgrade the graphics. They did upgrade a bunch of other shit. I really wish that I could afford a PS Pro right now so I could play it with all the adapted settings. But it still does look really good. And I got a little space farm. Like an attend to my fucking space farm, dude. It's pretty legit, I think. I like that idea. Growing like some weird fucking shit on a planet in a biodome. I kind of like, that kind of, pulling all these different alien species into your little hut. But yeah. So that's it from us. Thank you guys so much for watching, participating, Patreon people. You're fucking amazing. We love you.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's just... be sure to follow Brandon at Brandon Orselli at Twitter. I'm at Michael Space Jam. Go to nichegamer.com. We have a contest. Holy shit, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
We're going to have actually 3 contests in the next coming weeks. Every week we're going to have a contest for the next 3 weeks at least, and hopefully past that. But this week is Pillars of Eternity and Trinity. Or not Trinity, Tyranny.
I actually reshared it today. I'm proud of myself. So
yeah, after all the crap you've had to deal with today too. So there's quite a few people. I mean, you have a great chance of winning a game if you go and enter it. Super easy. All you have to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel and then share a screenshot in the thread that you have. And that's it.
Yeah, we actually we reviewed both games too, which I forgot to link to both reviews in the article. I'll do that now.
They're in there. I put it in there.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, they're linked in the titles of the 2 games. So yeah, go check that out. And either or, they're long ass fucking bang for your buck. Well, I mean, you're going to be winning them, so it's bang for your no buck. Games. And then next week we are going to do a hardware kind of thing. And I noticed there's a lot of people who are really interested in this brand new company, and that has to deal with Bionic. And we're also going to have some more unboxings on the Nintendo Switch stuff that they got coming out, which is better than first party Nintendo stuff, which is really fucking weird. It's a company that's really trying to make their mark, and they're basically making better quality peripherals and stuff like that than Nintendo actually does themselves. And so especially with that adapter, some people who follow the Twitter will know the adapter for the online, the LAN adapter, way better than the Nintendo one, way faster, and also it's more compact. So yeah, stay tuned for that stuff. And is there anything else?
I think that's it, man. You
It's
know.
really late for us, so we're kind of.
Yeah. Well, actually, I want to make a point though. I absolutely want us to do podcasts on the regular again. Shit's been kind of ridiculous, and I know it's kind of the worst time to even plan this with E3 coming up, but um, I figured trial by fire. I really want us to do this more often for you guys. I want you guys to hear us to, you know, have us just, you know, talk about this stuff and just have fun with it. So
Hopefully, I mean, it's one of those things. It's really. I think I can make a lot more time than Brandon can because he's just dealing with so much shit. We try to accommodate, but we are going to be definitely doing probably multiple podcasts during E3. Might do like a day 1 and day 2 and day 3 or something, or maybe a video, just like a round out video. Have a couple drinks, sit in a chair, and just this is the shit that we kind of. Actually, that's the problem with doing that. When we get this year, we have a lot of things we can't even talk about yet. It's even a lot for me, so we'll have to figure it out. But yeah, guys, this exit goodbye has gone on for literally 4 minutes, so we should cut it here. I love all your nostril holes, and we will see you hopefully maybe next week if we can get back on track, or if worse comes to worse, you'll definitely hear from us podcast wise during E3. So, and Cody will be there.
This is true. Yeah. We'll have a trio.
There we go. All right, guys. See you later.
Later, guys.